the hidden universe inside every atom. Part 1. Tonight there is nowhere to go, and nothing you need to accomplish. The day is over. The world outside can wait until tomorrow. For now, simply allow yourself to relax and listen. Imagine shrinking smaller and smaller, leaving behind the familiar scale of everyday life. The room around you becomes enormous. The chair beside you grows into a towering structure. Dust particles floating through the air become giant drifting worlds. You continue shrinking until even a single grain of sand appears larger than a mountain. As you descend into the microscopic realm, a hidden universe begins to emerge. Most people spend their lives observing the world at a human scale. We see trees, oceans, clouds, animals, buildings, and stars. Yet beneath everything we experience lies another reality, one so small that it remains completely invisible to the naked eye. It is a world of atoms, particles, energy, and motion. It is a universe hidden inside every object around you. The pillow beneath your head, the air in the room, the walls of your home, and even your own body are built from tiny building blocks known as atoms. At first, this idea may sound simple. Many people learn about atoms in school, yet the true scale of these structures is astonishing. A single drop of water contains more atoms than there are drops of water in all of Earth's oceans. Every breath you take carries trillions upon trillions of particles moving through space. Every second, countless invisible interactions occur around you without making a sound. As you continue shrinking, a single human hair appears before you. From normal size, it seems thin, but from your new perspective, it resembles a gigantic column stretching into the distance. Scientists estimate that roughly 100,000 atoms could fit across the width of a single human hair. The microscopic world is far larger and more complex than it first appears. You continue downward until individual molecules begin to emerge. Molecules are groups of atoms connected together. Water molecules drift through the air. Oxygen molecules move freely around you. Carbon dioxide molecules travel silently through space. They are far too small to see normally, yet they form the foundation of countless processes that sustain life. Imagine floating among these invisible structures. They move constantly, colliding, separating, and changing direction. Even in a quiet room, the microscopic world is incredibly active. Nothing remains perfectly still. Everything vibrates, everything moves, everything participates in a silent dance, governed by the laws of physics. As you drift deeper into this hidden realm, a single atom comes into view. For centuries, humans wondered whether atoms truly existed. Ancient philosophers imagined that matter might be composed of tiny, indivisible units. Thousands of years later, scientific discoveries revealed that atoms are real. Yet the reality proved stranger and more beautiful than anyone expected. From a distance, an atom might appear similar to a miniature solar system. At its center lies a nucleus containing protons and neutrons. Around it exist electrons occupying regions of probability. However, the atom is mostly empty space. If the nucleus were enlarged to the size of a marble, placed at the center of a stadium, the electrons would exist near the outer edges. The rest would be almost entirely empty. This means that every object around you is mostly empty space. The solid world feels solid because of forces acting between particles. Reality is far stranger than it appears. The atom before you glows softly in the darkness. Electrons move according to the unusual rules of quantum mechanics. In this realm, certainty begins to fade. Instead of exact locations, probabilities emerge. Scientists can calculate where an electron is likely to be found, but not always where it is at every moment. The deeper we explore nature, the more mysterious it becomes. Yet these mysteries are not frightening. They are reminders that the universe still holds wonders waiting to be understood. You drift closer to the nucleus. Protons and neutrons fill the center like an incredibly dense cluster of particles. The forces holding them together are among the strongest known in nature. Without them, atoms could not exist. Without atoms, stars, planets, oceans, and living creatures would never have formed. Every object in the visible universe depends upon these invisible interactions occurring deep inside matter itself. As you observe the nucleus, it becomes clear that even the smallest things contain extraordinary complexity. Entire branches of science exist to understand structures far too small to see. Generations of researchers devoted their lives to exploring this hidden universe. Through patience, observation, and imagination, they revealed realities that no human eye could directly observe. Their discoveries transformed our understanding of existence. Suddenly, the atom around you begins to fade as the journey continues deeper still. Beneath protons and neutrons exist even smaller particles. Quarks move within them, bound together by powerful forces. The deeper you travel, the more reality resembles a tapestry woven from energy and interactions, rather than solid objects. Matter becomes less like tiny balls and more like patterns within an invisible cosmic framework. Even at these scales, order emerges from simplicity. The universe continues following elegant rules, and somewhere far above this microscopic realm, stars continue shining across the darkness of space. As the journey continues deeper into the hidden world of matter, the familiar idea of solid objects begins to disappear completely. The tiny particles that seem so fundamental from a human perspective reveal even greater layers of complexity. Around you stretches a landscape unlike anything found on Earth. There are no mountains, rivers, forests, or oceans. Instead, there are fields of energy, invisible forces, and patterns so small that ordinary imagination struggles to describe them. Yet, despite their strange nature, these microscopic structures are responsible for everything you have ever seen, touched, or experienced. Every tree, every cloud, every animal, every ocean, and every distant star depends upon the interactions taking place within this hidden realm. Drifting quietly through the atomic universe, you begin to notice something remarkable. The same laws that govern the largest structures in the cosmos also influence the smallest. Patterns repeat across different scales. Galaxies contain stars orbiting central region. Atoms contain particles bound by invisible forces. Planets move according to gravity. Electrons follow quantum rules. The details differ, yet the universe displays a surprising sense of unity. It is as though reality speaks a single language, expressed in countless forms. Ahead, vast waves of energy move through the darkness. They are not ocean waves, yet they share a familiar rhythm. Quantum fields extend throughout space itself. According to modern physics, particles can be understood as tiny excitations within these fields. Imagine a calm lake. When a ripple appears on its surface, the ripple is not separate from the water. It is a movement within the water. In a similar way, particles may be viewed as disturbances within deeper fields that fill the universe. This idea transformed science and revealed an even more fascinating picture of reality. The deeper you travel, the less the universe resembles a collection of objects, and the more it resembles a vast interconnected process. Nothing exists completely alone. Everything influences something else. Tiny events can affect larger systems. Small changes can ripple outward through time and space. The hidden universe inside matter is not isolated from the larger cosmos. It is part of the same grand story. As you drift through this microscopic landscape, another realization emerges. Every atom inside your body has traveled an incredible journey. The carbon atoms that help form your cells were created long ago inside ancient stars. The oxygen atoms you breathe were forged in stellar furnaces. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, and many other elements within you originated in events that occurred billions of years before your birth. In a very real sense, your body contains material older than Earth itself. The atoms within you have witnessed cosmic history. Long before they became part of a human being, they existed within stars, drifting clouds of gas, and perhaps even other worlds. They have traveled extraordinary distances through time and space. Looking at these particles now, it becomes clear that every person is connected to the larger universe in profound ways. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are one of its countless expressions. The journey continues. Ahead appears a single oxygen atom. By itself, it seems simple. Yet this tiny structure may someday become part of a water molecule. That molecule may join a cloud, The cloud may release rain onto a forest. A tree may absorb the water. An animal may drink it. Eventually, the same atom may continue its endless journey through countless forms. Matter is constantly moving, changing, and participating in new stories. The atoms around us are ancient travelers. They never remain in one place forever. Over immense periods of time, they pass through mountains, rivers, oceans, plants, animals, and even stars. Nothing remains fixed. Everything participates in a continuous cycle of transformation. Floating deeper into the hidden universe, you encounter one of the most surprising discoveries ever made by science. Empty space is not truly empty. Even regions that appear completely vacant contain activity. Tiny fluctuations occur continuously. Energy appears and disappears according to the strange rules of quantum physics. What seems like nothingness contains hidden structure. Reality is richer and more dynamic than it first appears. This discovery changed how scientists understand the universe. Emptiness itself possesses complexity. The ship of imagination drifts through this invisible activity. Around you, particles emerge briefly before vanishing once more. The events occur on timescales so short that they are difficult to comprehend. Yet their existence reminds us that nature often hides extraordinary phenomena beneath ordinary appearances. The universe is filled with layers. Each discovery reveals deeper mysteries waiting below. As you continue exploring, a feeling of calm begins to settle over everything. The microscopic world may seem unfamiliar, but it is not chaotic. It follows patterns. It follows rules. The same elegance visible in galaxies and stars exists here as well. Nature displays remarkable consistency. Whether examining the largest structures in space or the smallest particles within matter, a sense of order remains. This order allowed life to emerge. It allowed chemistry to function. It allowed stars to shine. It allowed planets to form. Without these underlying principles, the universe would be very different indeed. Ahead, a glowing structure begins to take shape. It is a strand of DNA, one of the most important molecules in living organisms. Coiled and elegant, it contains instructions that help guide the development and function of life. Looking at it from this perspective feels almost like observing a cosmic monument. Within its structure exists information passed across generations. Tiny molecular arrangements contribute to the growth of forests, the flight of birds, and the existence of human beings. Life itself emerges from countless interactions between atoms and molecules. Yet from these simple components arise thoughts, emotions, memories, creativity, and curiosity. The hidden universe inside matter eventually gives rise to minds capable of exploring the universe itself. This may be one of the most remarkable facts in all of science. The atoms inside your brain can think about atoms. The universe has become aware of itself through conscious observers. As the journey continues, the DNA molecule slowly fades into the distance. Once again, the focus shifts outward. You begin rising through the scales of reality. Atoms become molecules. Molecules become cells. Cells become tissues. Tissues become living organisms. The perspective expands gradually. Soon entire forests appear. Oceans return. Mountains rise across distant horizons. Clouds drift through the atmosphere. The Earth itself comes into view. From high above, the planet appears vibrant and alive. Oceans shimmer beneath sunlight. White clouds swirl gently across continents. Billions of living creatures continue their daily journeys. Yet now the world seems slightly different. Every object contains hidden complexity. Every stone, leaf, drop of water, and breath of air contains countless atoms participating in an endless cosmic dance. The ordinary world becomes more extraordinary once its invisible foundations are understood. Rising higher still, Earth slowly shrinks beneath you. The moon appears nearby. Beyond it shines the sun, providing energy that supports life across the planet. Farther away stretch the planets of the solar system. Beyond them lies the galaxy. Beyond the galaxy lie countless others scattered across the observable universe. The scale grows larger and larger. Yet something fascinating becomes clear. The same atoms explored earlier exist throughout this immense cosmos. The elements found within your body can also be found inside distant stars. The particles moving through the air around you exist across the galaxy. The universe is vast beyond imagination, yet it is built from common ingredients repeated in countless forms. Looking outward now, the connection between the very small and the very large becomes impossible to ignore. The universe is not divided into separate stories. It is one story unfolding across many scales. Galaxies, stars, planets, oceans, forests, animals, and people all emerge from the same underlying reality. Every level is connected to the others. The hidden universe inside every atom and the vast universe beyond the stars are chapters within the same grand narrative. As the journey slowly approaches its end, a feeling of wonder remains. The world around you may look ordinary tomorrow. You may see familiar streets, familiar buildings, familiar objects. Yet beneath those appearances lies an invisible universe of astonishing beauty. Trillions upon trillions of atoms continue their silent motion. Particles interact, molecules form and separate. Energy flows through matter. The hidden universe never rests. It continues its quiet activity every moment of every day. And perhaps there is comfort in knowing that even the smallest things contain mysteries, beauty, and history beyond imagination. The stars above and the atoms below are connected. The universe outside and the universe within are part of the same endless story. And as you rest and listen, both continue their gentle journey through time, silent, elegant, and endlessly fascinating.